Hey, everybody, and good morning. Um, well, yeah, it's like I bet most of you are probably waking up around this time. Uh, they can't. Oh, we can't play that on YouTube, unfortunately. Um, but how y'all doing? Shibinero here with the third stream of 13, obviously. Well, yeah, probably 13, 14 streams from TMNT Cowabunga collection. Um, as you've seen, some of these games can be pretty short, at least in terms of simplicity and overall story arc. Like the arcade game is pretty short, like we did that stream in about half an hour. And this next one, which is the next one in line that was released, first for the Game Boy, TMNT Fall of the Foot Clan, is no exception. It is pretty short, but still a very memorable game. But as the years went on, as the other two Game Boy games came out, they improved in complexity, let alone, difficulty level. Especially the third one, which is the Metroidvania game, which I do have a copy of, but have never beaten to this very day. I only got it years after the fact, though, like in the days of eBay and stuff like that, before this so-called retro explosion we're having now, where everybody's scamming everybody. I was able to at least get the game, the physical game itself, at a reasonable price. But it's compilations like this, though, that make me glad that, retro gaming is still pretty much alive and well, at least in the minds of most gamers. So, if we're going to the first one. And last night when I was searching out, the artwork to use for the YouTube video avatar, the icon or the avatar that represents the content of the video. I was looking for specifically the box art. I found out that there's a fan-made game by the same guy who did that Rescue Palooza TMNT game, called Follow the Foot Clan DX, and includes different animations. It's the same game, but the game is in full color, and it was totally amazing. I watched literally some playthroughs of it, and it is amazing what fan-made projects can do in this day and age. Of course, Konami is, at least in my opinion, not like Nintendo in that they'll throw a lawyer at everything that is involved with fan creation. So Nintendo is kind of infamous for wanting to protect their IPs, and even though they rightly have the right to do that, is it necessary at times? Now, but let's get off my tangent and let's check out Follow the Foot Clan. So, enhancements. Oh, so there are bonus games in Follow the Foot Clan, but that seems to be the only thing. So, let's start her up, shall we? And I position my face quite nicely in the corner there, so I don't obscure the gameplay. I do that beforehand, before I set up the next stream. Big surprise. That's the story in a nutshell. Ultra Games, though, is like I said, a subsidiary of Konami, and they didn't shy away from it. Konami in 1990. So one thing that was different from other Turtles games previously was that you could start at any level you want. I personally did not notice that until as of late. But I'll pick the first one, obviously, because we're doing a playthrough. And of course you can select whatever turtle you want to start with, and the thing about it is though once you beat one level, you can select another character, so you don't have to play through the whole entire game as that character, which is nice. Unlike the first NES game where you can literally switch, it was a different type of game. You could switch between the characters on the fly, whichever character you wanted to use. And I thought that was brilliant, like the way they did it. So let's pick my favorite, and it's still spelled wrong. But this is the first game. So that's, you jump, you attack. If you kneel and then attack, you can use shuriken. When you jump, and you can kick. So pretty straightforward game. The controls are kind of a little bit reversed, but obviously you can map them the way you want, and I can figure it out pretty quickly. And I still have the original game. I remember how much excitement was on my face when my parents got me this game way back in 1990. I was a big Turtle fanboy. So yeah, so this is a secret. So this is one of the bonus levels. Which one do we get? Oh, I never can beat this one. 10 chances to find the secret number. So you have to guess like higher or lower. So it's smaller than 100, but this is never actually accurate. So let's try 30. Smaller than 30. Let's try 10. Smaller than 10. Let's try 9. Here's why I don't think it works very well. Smaller than 1 would be 0. Smaller than 0, so let's try 9999. I'm just curious. This is why it never really works. Bigger than 99. This is why. I think I've only won that game once. The other bonus games are at least beatable. If someone could write the channel and please tell me, or in the comments below, what is the secret to that bonus game? This is so cool though, having to have all of these great classic games in one place. I remember I was at GameStop. What were we watching? I was at GameStop and it wasn't very particularly busy at that time, but we were watching, and by we I mean me and the two people who I know who work there. We were watching, I believe it was the Sony it was a Sony event. It was a Sony State of Play, and they were showcasing all the new. Oh, this one I can win. So you have to like pick how many, and then leave one remaining to win. Oh, I won this one easy. Of course, you could screw it up just as easily. And then you regain health if you win the bonus games, which is cool. But we were watching the Sony State of Play. I believe that's what the event was called, but it was specifically Sony only event where they were showcasing stuff that was coming out. And I can't remember. It was this year. I can't remember what type of what time of the year it was, but the TMNT Cowabunga collection was announced at that time. And Shredder's Revenge, we still hadn't gotten a release date on it, so it must have been earlier in the year. But I saw that and I knew, is this going to be available on like other platforms? And of course, it being a Sony event, they obviously, like in the trailer, they took out the fact that it's available on all the other platforms. He just showed the Sony stuff. But I was excited for it nonetheless. Then did my research, went online, and then learned on YouTube and trying to figure out more about it and what games it included. And everybody was making YouTube videos about it. And I was excited, and then I pre-ordered the thing right away, and then obviously, that's when I pre-ordered the limited edition of it, and then obviously when I looked at it, thought about it really hard, didn't really need that. I just really wanted the games. The games are like the meat and the content. Don't get me wrong, having all that extra stuff is cool and all if you're a collector, but standees and art cards and things of that nature, as much as I like them, they're not really worth the, what is it? I think it's it's over $200. See, I knew there was another one there. It doesn't justify the $200 price tag. Even though the box art is done by Kevin Eastman. Oh, I took this one this slow. Oh, I missed one. Not bad. 9 out of 10. I qualify. Where's my prize? You get your health back up. Cool. Get out of here. Oh, damn it! And then you can't go back down there and get the pizza, which kind of sucks. I've never actually, in all the times I've played this game, never tried to, start the game from one of the other 4 levels. I've always played the game from the beginning. It's just the way I roll, y'all. It's the way I've always done it. This is one of the first games I remember where you're able to actually kick. Alright, we're at the end of the level now. Sorry. So this is boss fight with Rocksteady. I like how in the fan-made version of this, when they're in color, they added voiceover samples of Rocksteady and Bebop. Yeah, pretty straightforward, easy game. Of course, if you're looking at it from like a purist perspective, as it's like it's not a very good game. It's way too easy, and that might be so. But if you're a fan of the property, it really don't matter. All right, let's pick another one. Let's pick Donnie. So we're in the factory level. Carry a big stick. And the thing is, like, unlike the first, the NES game, where there's clearly a difference in terms of power level and ability between the 4 turtles. There really isn't in this game. It doesn't appear that way. Secret bonus stage. Is it the number one again? Oh no, it hit the target again. Okay. I have to hit 8 this time. I find that if you stay in the center, you can easily navigate. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, okay, you do get something if you remember points, kids, in games. We used to have those. Continues as well. I'm feeling particularly nostalgic today. I think sometime later in the day, we're probably gonna stream some more. I'm just in such a good mood lately because this game came out and I was really highly anticipating the collection. And obviously you go on YouTube to try and like learn more about stuff or Google stuff, but obviously YouTube content creators, some people who have, I guess, a well-known reputation, get review copies of the game, and I like watching those videos because it details a little bit what you're gonna get. And obviously, who doesn't want to know exactly what's in the entire package, you know? Instead of discovering it, going in blind and discovering it for yourself. Like, you really want to know what, if you're really getting your money's worth, and you definitely are with this compilation, even if you just get the straight bare bones title itself. The guy actually that I like, that I probably watch the most YouTube videos for, his name is RGT85. I really like his content, I really like his stuff, and he's a big nerd like me for stuff of this nature, like compilations. I don't want to say he's my go-to guy for all gaming content news, because there is definitely a lot of other content creators who I respect and follow on YouTube. Back when I was a lot... Oh, I'm dying. When I was a lot younger, I didn't really understand the whole thing, especially when a lot of these guys got invited actually to like events like anime conventions. I didn't understand the relation so much, and especially when I was, you know, I guess I was kind of on my high horse and I wanted to meet the anime voice actors, and they were announcing all these YouTube people, like first for guest lists, for potential guests. I was a little bit, and they announced the voice actors last, which kind of defeats the purpose of it being like a pop culture event. But now I definitely understand the appeal of YouTube content creators and what they do. But the thing is, there's so many of them out there. You know, like, who do you really follow? That was easy. And I guess I don't want to consider myself a content creator in the same right, because like, this is definitely something I don't always do all the time, but I still enjoy doing, like having this YouTube channel, whether it be when I'm posting streams, even though they say your video might not be like the audio might be muted in certain regions of the world, and that's fine, like, it doesn't bother me. But I just like to present the gameplay as I'm hearing it or seeing it, so that you guys can get the full appreciation of it. Because I don't do this for any kind of monetary gain. I do this because I like doing it. And I've often thought at times, you know, do I really have the time to do this? Do I have, like, obviously any guy who goes on YouTube and starts making videos wants to get better. They want to, just like with art, with sports, you practice, you get better, you want to improve. Of course, you have the time to do that as well. So that's why this channel of mine has far removed and nobody watches, whatever. You know, you can't really let that stop you from doing what you like to do. So even if nobody watches this, I'm fine with it, because I like at least putting it out there for people to eventually find and see. And when I first did my first YouTube channel, that's how some people find me. I don't really like advertising that, hey, I'm doing a stream tonight. Don't get me wrong, like, having more followers is always nice and people to chat with, but everybody's got an opinion, and I feel that if you got nothing nice to say about whatever you're watching, or whether you're interacting with somebody, then, you know, there's no need to argue about what is better and what you prefer. Oh, that was stupid. This game is like going by super fast. This is the first time I think we encountered Baxter as a boss, before we got to the NES arcade game version. That's what made me really love this game, like when it first came out, was that how faithful it was to the gargantuanness that is the cartoon. Like, even though the comic book was well received in the underground community and is like an underground sleeper hit, which eventually led to the TV series, and I didn't know about it until after I saw the first movie, the first live action movie, did I truly understand how big the show was, or the property I should say, let alone the implications of someone like Nickelodeon buying it. That being said, now that we're getting all this turtle stuff lately, like, you know, we got another movie coming by Seth Rogen, who obviously people know is a famous person. Probably somebody better handled to present the TMNT than Michael Bay. And don't get me wrong, like, as much as I dislike Michael Bay movies, at least in this day and age, I would definitely still like to see the two movies that his production company did. It's like, you're a fan of the property, even though you might not like certain things about it. Your collection is, like, by far incomplete. You have to have the good and the bad. Same with the Batman stuff. Like, even though you prefer, let's say, the Michael Keaton or the Christian Bale era of Batman, you have to acknowledge that, yeah, Val Kilmer and George Clooney, but I've heard the new one is good. But you have to take the good with the bad as a fan of the property and see, like, you know, every franchise, I think, has a cycle. Like, there'll be a point of high success, and then oversaturation, and then a reboot eventually happens with different people behind the property, and then that generates nostalgia and buzz again for the old stuff too, like for any iteration of the franchise. Now, I'm probably a bigger fan of the older iterations of this property, so we're talking like the comic book, the 80s TV show, and I really like the 2003 TV show as well, because that was faithful to the original comic books, and of course the first 3 live action movies, and then maybe the CG animated one, which we got in I believe it was 2007, even though Shredder was not in that one. But then when we got Michael Bay taking over, that's kind of, I think, around the time that Peter Laird sold the rights to Nickelodeon. Then we got the 2012 series, which I hear is really good. I haven't seen enough of it to appreciate probably the impact it had. But the rise of the TMNT, I didn't even know that one was done, actually. I didn't watch that one because I didn't like the animation style of it. But maybe that's just the old guy talking in me, because I prefer what I grew up with as opposed to what newer generations of fans are getting now. Now here's the thing. Shredder is not the final boss. This is the first time, I think, that he's not the final boss in the game. Again, very short game. We're at the final level already. Again, though, it doesn't matter which character you pick to play as. Because, unlike the first game, where they clearly had their differences in strength and power, they pretty much all play the same. I mean, they're brothers, why not? But one thing I do like about this compilation is that you're able to play the game from as it was released in other regions. So like the Japanese version, for example, which is probably the only other region. I didn't know that the first game was released as a different title, as opposed to the TMNT name. I'm definitely taking more damage than I usually do when I play this game. Where's the damn pizza? I need it. I need it to save my life, as I am dying. Where is it? It's supposed to be flying around somewhere. I'm totally dying. Where is it? There it is. At least give me a fighting chance, right? I feel like watching the cartoon again. And you'd think that as a TMNT fan I would have probably seen the whole show, but that is not true. I've never seen the entire show in its entirety. Not even what's the other one? The 2003. The 2003 one, I'm surprised that they haven't released all of it in home media in some fashion. I'm sure, like, it's probably the way things are going right now with TV and nostalgia and all that. More people, or companies I should say, are focusing their efforts on streaming platforms like Netflix and Hulu. What else is there? Prime. As opposed to putting the releases on DVD or like Blu-ray, whatever it is. I just noticed this trend, and this is probably a good topic for a vlog or YouTube video for the channel, is the slow decline, and probably even more increasingly decline, of physical media. Like, you know, started with CDs, with Napster and that kind of thing. But obviously, digital versions of things are convenient, especially with a space issue. Particular books, I'm fond of, you know, having digital copies of books, especially stuff that's hard to find. That's why I love my tablet so much. Shit. I'm totally not in my element like I used to be when playing this game. I'm not dying. I'm getting hit way too often. Where's the damn pizza? Where is it? Come on, give it to me. There it is. Go ahead. Now the end. Krang. He's the last boss. If you just stick to the side, like you can literally like avoid getting hit. Of course I could screw it up. And there you go. End of game. Pretty easy, isn't it? Of course, back in my day when we started, the whole point of the, I guess, an achievement of itself, as I said before, is just completing the game is more than enough. Anyway, since this one was so short, we're definitely going to be streaming another one, another game, later on today. Probably the arcade game, the NES version. So TMNT 2 will be the next one. And you'll notice something because we played the arcade game last night. This part is exactly the same as the end of the arcade game. Now this is obviously the Nintendo Switch version that we're streaming. But I'm curious if you're playing this on PlayStation or Xbox, what the achievement list is. Like, this is one of those titles that I would invest in on every system, mainly because you like the Nintendo for like the nostalgia and like just the straight up gameplay. But if you know you're good at a game and you know you're maybe a little bit of a trophy whore or an achievement whore, then you can get the same game on different platforms, even though you already own it on your platform of choice. And then the theme plays, and I like this part. We don't know these guys. Oh wow, he's the supervisor and he's the designer and the graphic designer. That guy had a whole buttload of work. Goodbye. 1990. That was a long time ago. Well over 30 years ago. Nope. Question mark. There you go, friends. This has been TMNT Follow the Foot Clan stream for your long weekend. So thanks very much for checking out the stream today, if you did, on the playlist, or if you were checking it out live. I'm not too sure, but we will be back with TMNT 2, the arcade game, sometime later today. And maybe, who knows, if I'm feeling kind of what's the word, if I'm in the mood, which I probably am, I might stream another one. I have to check the list, which is the actual next one in line. I think that might be the second Game Boy game, but we'll see. But take care of yourselves. Stay beautifully imperfect. Take care of yourselves and each other. Be kind to yourselves and each other. And y'all, keep up the awesomeness. And we will see you later. Take care.